Today we're going to go over 3 different situations on how to find slope. However, each of the 3 situations really are representing the same things. We're going to be finding slopes using coordinates, functions, and tables. We're also going to go over some special situations. One thing that you have to remember slope is rise over run. And one of the things we can do to find rise over run when we have 2 coordinates, 2 points, is we are going to take one of the y's and subtract the other y over one of our x coordinates minus our other x coordinate. When we do this, we need to make sure that we take the y from one coordinate and the x from that exact coordinate in the same order. And technically, it does not matter which, if we can interchange all of these and we will still get the same slope. So in our first example, we have these 2 coordinates. We have 6, 1 and 4, 3. So I'm just going to go, again, it's y over x. Remember, rise over run. So our rise is our y and our run is our x left to right. So we're going to find the differences between our y coordinates. So we're going to take 1 minus 3. And then since we used the coordinate 1 from here, we're going to start also with our x coordinate from here, 6 minus 4. This would be negative 2, and this would be 2, and we have a slope of negative 2 over positive 2, a slope of negative 1. Let's do this instance here with these 2 coordinates. And this time I'm going to go, and again, it does not matter. The only thing you have to be careful about is when we do have subtraction of negatives. So again, we're going to take y minus y. So we have a negative 5 minus a negative 11. And then take our x coordinates in the same order, negative 3 minus 6. Well, subtracting a negative is really making that a positive, so we really have negative 5 plus 11, which is a positive 6. And here a negative 3 minus 6, which is a negative 3 plus a negative 6, is negative 9. And we always put our slopes in lowest terms. And so that would be 2/3, and we have a negative and a positive, so negative 2/3 would be our slope. Now we do have some special situations. One thing you should notice is that both of our x coordinates are the same. Well, let's test it out and see what happens. So we have our y coordinate, 10 minus 0. And we have our x coordinates, negative 10 minus negative 10. 10 minus 0 is 10. However, 10, and this would be a positive 10, negative 10 plus a positive 10 is 0. As we know in math, you cannot have a division by 0. So whenever you see this type of situation with the x coordinates being the same and you're trying to find the slope, this is considered to be undefined. And by the way, that would be at a line that is at x at negative 10. Well, now you notice in this special situation, both y's have the same coordinate. So again, we're going to take y, find the differences of our y coordinates, and so we have negative 2 minus negative 2 over the difference of our x coordinates, 3 minus a negative 8. And so we end up with negative 2 plus a positive 2, which gives us 0. And here we have 3 plus 8 is 11. We have a slope of 0. And this is a horizontal line at the y-intercept of negative 2. Now let's talk about functions. Functions, basically when we're given a function, they're saying that our function of x at negative 8 and the result is our y. So we really have nothing more than a coordinate of negative 8, negative 8. This represents our domain. This represents our range. And we have 2 points basically. We have negative 8, negative 2, negative 6. These are our range, or also called our y. So we can take negative 8 minus negative 6. And then our domain, or our x, would be negative 8 minus negative 2. Negative 6 plus, or negative 8 plus a positive 6 is negative 2. And a negative 8 plus a positive 2 will give us a negative 6. And since we have a negative over a negative, we have a positive, and lowest terms, our slope is 1/3. And then lastly, we can do the same thing when we are given a table of several coordinates, and you can pick and choose any of the coordinates, any of the 2 coordinates you would like out of the table. Again, our differences of our y over the differences of our x. And as I said, you can start anywhere you want. So I'm going to go let's start with our y. I'm going to do the difference of 20 and 50. So our y's are 20 minus 50. And then again, remember you have to use the same x coordinates in the same order that you just did your y coordinates. So we're going to do 2 minus 8. This will give us a negative 30. And this is going to give us a negative 6. A negative over a negative is going to give us a positive, and 30 over 6, we have a slope of 5. And just to prove it, we can try a couple others. Let's try these inner 2. And we can go the other direction if we'd like. We can go 40 minus 30. And since we went in that direction for our y coordinates, we need to do the same for our x. 6 minus 4. 40 minus 30 is 10. 6 minus 4 is 2. Lowest terms, we have a slope of 5. Please keep in mind, whenever you have 2 points, 2 functions, or points from tables, we can use the differences of our y's over the differences of our x coordinates.